Welcome, Sandeep. Thanks so much for giving us time to discuss about your career and Grab's office design and how things are going to evolve going forward. I would start off with you personally. You seem to be having a very interesting journey. I saw you were in hospitality, and then you were in the UK for some time. Then once you moved back to India, you've been with some large corporates, and finally you made the transition to a startup, Zoomcar, and now with Grab. Can you just walk us through how you got into doing facilities for startups?
Thanks, Payel. Thanks for having me on board, actually. Yeah, as you mentioned, it's a quite interesting journey for me. I have done my hotel management, and when I was about to finish my hotel management, I decided where I want to be and what I should be doing in future. So my mentors in university, they gave us some inputs about facilities, which is not even known in that particular time. Somewhere around 2005, 2006. It's very young discipline at that particular time. So that helped us doing some research and understand. So that's the reason I been to UC and pursued my further studies in facilities and event management. When I'm done with facilities and event management there, I realized now in India, this is something new and upcoming discipline. So why don't I start my career in India itself, leaving all my hospitality experience, what I have done in UK. So luckily, I got a job immediately after I come back to India in an event management organization. But I somehow felt I'm more connected towards facilities where events could also be a part of. So then I realized maybe I should go into a organization where I can be more of a use. So in that process, I found a opening in one of the construction company. It's not an engineering company or anything. It's a construction company who done our Bangalore metro for few of the stations. So I have got an opportunity to prove myself. So I'm so enthusiastic, and I took over the entire project for that Bangalore metro. And it's a 4-year journey. It's a pretty hard journey where I learned a lot. Then I moved on and got into some software companies and worked for an organization which was acquired by a quick for 3.5 years. Then I moved to Zoomcar. Now I'm with Grab for last 3.5 years. So that's how it is.
Fantastic. Wanted to ask you a little bit about this managing facilities and workplaces for a startup. How do you think it's different from managing a large established organization? What sort of demands do you see, and how is the demographic?
So we all know, right? Large organizations have SOPs. They will stick to their timelines, and they always plan their events or anything which includes office space and everything as per the SOPs. But if you come to the startups, it's a very dynamic culture. We don't know what project we are going to get in next couple of days or next couple of weeks. So we have to be open and welcoming any such demands. I think it's pretty challenging compared to the big organizations. Uh, but yeah, it's pretty good to learn in a when it is a fast pace. It's very good learning, right? So I enjoy that.
Okay. In terms of demographic, people who work for startups, the age group, their preferences, their demands or expectations from a workplace are very, very different. How do you see that playing out at Grab?
Uh, I would say Grab. We no need to worry about any of these things actually. So it's not a question at all for me to worry. But when you have a young bunch of people, they always like the space to be lively, which is a challenging for us. Maybe sometimes we feel like I'm getting old, taking care of these guys. But yeah, that's something challenging. We have to update ourselves daily. When we are having a fresher who is 2019 pass out, obviously he will have something new which he will be expecting in organizations, right? So obviously we need to update ourselves, and it's pretty good to get updated, right?
Yeah.
We should not be someone who is out of place. So it's a learning for me as well. Every day is a learning, but I enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Great. I would jump to your design of the Bangalore office of Grab. It's kind of the talk of town. We've been there as well. It's a fantastically designed space. You've used a lot of sustainability, recyclable materials also into the design. Can you walk us through the process? What led you through
Well, I'm losing your voice
designing a
actually.
space? Is it better now? Hello.
It's getting freezed.
Is it better now?
Now it's okay. Now it's fine.
So I'll repeat my question. I wanted to jump into your design of Grab's Bangalore office. It's the talk of town. We've been there as well. It's a beautifully designed space, very lively. But what kind of stands out is how you've used the sustainable design theme throughout the office. You've recycled a lot of material. You've upcycled material. So what led you through that design process? How did you approach it?
First thing first, I should thank you for recognizing that. And when we come to the design, there is a lot of collaboration with the teams for sure. And the main element what I have used is my feedback system. So when I go through my feedbacks for last couple of years, what all repeated issues we are facing on daily basis, considering to the space, we try to address all those issues. So when we are designing something, we thought we have to identify such issues which need to be addressed, and we try to get those rectified with the design itself. So that is one key element which we kept in mind throughout. Second thing, we also need to know the needs and requirements of upcoming projections. So we need to know like what is our headcount and other things through TA teams, and what could be the other requirements, like when we are growing big, when you are splitting into multiple floors. If you want to have a town hall or all hands, there is no point we sit on each floor and do all hands. We want all hands to be together. So we need to come up with the spaces which can accommodate all hands, something like that. So we try to get all these jotted first, and we try to plan accordingly. So these are the main things what I can mention right now.
Could you give us a few examples of the needs that you spoke about, that which surfaced and prompted you to design the space the way you've done it? Was it like open plan collaboration, or what led you to that?
So there are a couple of things, right? So, for example, one of our old floors, we don't have much space to collaborate. We all have decent enough working space, but not the collaborating space. So we need some breakout spaces where we can sit and talk. See, after all, it's not about just working, right? We need to share thoughts. We need to share some ideas, not just about the product what you're working on, any other things which may be useful in future also. So we need some breakout spaces where people should gather and should not disturb others who are working. So which is missing in our previous existing floors. So we thought we need to come up some with such places. And I also saw a lot of engineers who go through a lot of stress when they have tight deadlines, right? So I felt like maybe we should come up with some sort of innovative ideas where they can relieve their stress, at least by spending that 15-20 minutes. Say for example, we have a corner where we have a couple of swings, cradles, where they can just sit and swing for some time. I don't know how much it may help, but definitely I'm sure he will be slightly better than his previous state, right? Second thing, we have a small cricket box box cricket we call, where 4 or 5 people can just join and play cricket for fun. So all these fun activities, that will bring back your normalcy, relieving your stress, which is very important in any startup or any fast-paced companies. Because we can't take long breaks and say like, I will take care of this work later. We have to get back to our work and we have to meet our timelines always. So yeah, these are the few examples I can give right away.
Yeah, and a startup, everything has to be done yesterday.
Yeah.
How much of Grab's culture and the human interactions actually influenced your design?
I would say it's a lot actually. Uh, Grab, we collaborate a lot. It's not necessary that we collaborate as a teams on a team meetings. We collaborate in general. Like whenever we feel someone is free and I'm free, I just drop by to his desk and I'll try to check with them, like what's going on and what they are facing, if at all there are any issues, or sometimes someone have some ideas, they just drop by to my desk and they just start giving those ideas, like hey, maybe we should require a few more jam boards or few more writing spaces or something like that. Maybe they are very small needs, but that makes a lot of sense to improve the productivity actually. So sometimes we may miss on providing those stuff, but that's very useful feedbacks what we try to get. So we kind of wipe him a lot. So for example, I'm the only spock for India facility procurement, but I never felt like I'm alone because entire finance team supports me, entire HR team supports me, which includes our country head. Everyone supports me along with all the other leads. Whenever they have any requirement, they just come to me and say, "This is what we require." That's good enough for me to understand what they require when we have open collaboration, and that helps me a lot to deliver my things on time. Yeah.
What you mentioned is a very key element. All of these, unstructured, informal interactions is what helps you do your job better, what helps the organization come together.
Very true.
In the present, scenario where most of teams are working remotely, how are you guys handling that? How's that happening? Or do you see that to be, a perpetual gap in that this whole work from home or hybrid model?
I would say there is definitely some gap because we all of a sudden jumped from face-to-face conversations to
Yeah,
virtual
overnight.
conversations.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
overnight. We didn't even get much time to see. There will be always certain percent of people who will be working from home, but 100% working from home is never happened or never thought of. So
True.
we are not 100% ready to have some technology or something in place to handle such situations, but
Right.
we have internal channels where we chat a lot to understand the requirements.
Mm.
Like people ping me on our internal channel and they try to
Right.
check whatever it is, anything related to facilities. Now they being at home, they may require home furniture, like office furniture at home. So they
Right.
may need
Right.
some vendors, or say, for example, few of the employees, they don't want to stay in 2 BHK anymore. They want to shift their families home and they just want to stay in a small property. So they may ask me
Right.
for property management companies who can store their belongings or something like that, warehouses.
Right. Right.
So I
Right.
try to help them through our internal channels, but definitely we need more technology to handle these kind of situations where we can track the requirements and requests to address on time actually. So
Yeah. In terms of, say, post-COVID, eventually the offices will open up. What are your thoughts? How do you see that panning out? How do you see the change in, how someone like you will approach running the organization?
it's going to be very challenging, to be very honest, at least for a couple of initial couple of weeks or months in fact. The reason being is we have a lot of new practice in place, which we
Mm-hmm.
have to follow. There is no other way, we have to follow.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
when you are staying at home without a mask, you are comfortable. But if you are coming back to office, you have to wear a mask and sit. Everyone knows it suffocates, but there
Right.
is no other way. So people need to train themselves physically and mentally that we are going to face all these things once we go back to office. Once they are done, I think that will help us tremendously to run the show smoothly. But if people are not understanding the seriousness of this, and we have to train people consistently, then we may see some challenges which we need to address. We have a backup for that also. We have made our own plans, the training manuals and everything.
Right.
Small videos like 3 minute, 4 minute videos where we just try to play in cafeterias or somewhere where people should see and you know try to bring some awareness. I'm sure everyone are aware of the situations, and there are a lot of videos popping up in WhatsApp everywhere. But from our side, we have to do our bit to bring that awareness, and we have to do it. And I'm sure there will be a lot of changes in Workspace by seeing a lot of signages like stop here, maintain distance, and all these signages, which may
Mm.
look very different than before. uh,
Mm. Mm.
never know how people are going to take it, and how they are going to use cautions basically. So
Right.
we are eagerly waiting to see how effective it's going to be, and how well it's going to be.
How has Grab's response been to this? I mean, are you guys going to come back to work fully? Have you decided upon that, or there'll be some teams which will still continue to be remote? You'll be coming back to office occasionally. How has the thought been till now?
So we are evaluating on a regular basis. We have a BCP team, business continuity plan team, who
Mm. Mm.
are taking very cautious steps, very regular basis. Nevertheless, we do require key people, which includes myself, to do the audits of safety. We have live servers or UPS and electrical equipment which are always on the floor. When people are not around,
Mm.
there might be some risk actually. So
Right.
we have to do some audits on regular basis. So I will be visiting very once in a week, and taking my rounds and get my audit done. The same way, IT team is also supporting other employees who have IT issues, where he will
Mm.
be getting into office and give appointments to the other grabbers where they can, like, only that person can come at that particular slot. We want to maintain that safe uh, distance through time also.
Right.
So we are trying to plan all these things, and we have implemented that. So far we are doing fine with that part. Coming back to
Mm.
office, as of now, we have decided certain time till October we are not going to resume.
Okay.
Post that, it all depends on the situations. Again, we have to take a call. Yeah.
Right. Right. Um, some you mentioned about some tactical changes that you'll have to do possibly when
Yeah.
offices resume. Anything specific you think which technology can enable you to do under these circumstances?
Definitely. Now, see, as a BCP part, we have to split ourselves into two teams, and only one team will be working from office, uh, at least for few months till
Right.
everything goes down and everything is normal. So, in that particular time, we need to know which team is coming to office and which team is sitting at home.
Right.
Our technology can play a big role over there. As of now, we have sorted out some solution through our internal channels, but I
Mm.
think technology can be a great help in such things. Also, there are a lot of things like these cautions and these things which we
Mm.
have displayed. We
Mm.
need to make sure a technology can help us track everything. Like, for
Mm.
example, I'm using a QR code to record a temperature of employee
Mm.
or vendor or whoever is coming in.
Right.
That can be more seamless if we have
Yeah.
a better technology.
Sure.
So as of now, we are using technology, but we have a lot of scope of improving that technology further.
Sure.
Yeah.
Um, Now, one question related to your, how passionate you are about design. What's one favorite design inspiration of yours?
Uh, I don't know if I have to put it this way. Reusing recycled stuff is something which is very close to me. I have done few events earlier where we have to do some where we have to deck up entire floor for that, like Christmas decorations or Diwali decorations. I have tried reusing stuff before, which came out pretty decent. So that gave me a lot of confidence that, why don't we keep doing this when that can be of some use. So our pantry is so beautiful, where we got some used tires which are useless, but
Yeah.
it's not useless anymore. We are using them every single day to sit on it. And there are few people who say we don't want to move out of this place, like they want to just sit there and spend some more time. So which is a very hearty feedback, which I feel. Also, there are a lot of other locations on the floor where I have used a lot of recycled stuff. So I think reusing stuff is something which is a key element which I have used, and I felt so pleased for doing that actually. Yeah.
Fantastic. I was about to actually mention the tires that you had reused, and you spoke
Yeah.
about that. I think
Yeah.
it's a very element in your office. Last question: what would be your mantra for all facility heads to tackle how workplace, or how we interact with our workplaces going forward? It's evolving. So, what's your one
I think
mantra
I
for them?
think I'm for sure facilities teams, they won't look, they are not visible to everyone, but I'm sure everyone are on their toes to get the spaces ready. But the only suggestion what I give is, let's get more technology in, and try to use the technology as much as we can to get the process more streamlined and seamless. Apart of that, I think I'm sure I have a lot of contacts on LinkedIn who are always sharing beautiful ideas always throughout. So there are a lot of ideas which I feel like, why we didn't get such ideas before. So we have to keep our ears open and eyes open to such ideas, and we have to adopt. As simple as that.
Sure. Thanks so much, Sandeep. It was very interesting to chat with you. I think we'll catch up sometime again, once the workplaces resume and we see you bringing in new practices. Uh, Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Payal. Thanks for asking me all these questions, and it's a pretty nice feel of sharing some, inner thoughts what we have.
Certainly, it's our pleasure. I'm sure people will enjoy watching these. We'll also try and include some of the photographs if we can, of, the certain nooks and corners of your office, which
Sure, sure,
with the
sure. I can share. I can share that.
sure.